Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, I'm Leslie with the Plaid Poodle. It is Monday, July 31st. Wow, last day of July. And it feels like July outside here in the Kansas City area. I don't know where you are, but we are having a heat wave. I have been on vacation. I haven't been live for, I just counted it up 2 weeks, even though I just skipped the one Monday. But between the Mondays, it's been 2 whole weeks since I've been here. So I've missed you all. If you're here, say hello. I love to chat while we craft together. Um, Hi, Stace. Today we are going to make a really easy, cute little card that's very reproducible. You can make it using any products that you have hanging around your craft room, hanging around your stash. But I did want to remind you, it is the last day of July, so it is the last day to earn your bonus days coupons. You earn a $5 coupon for every $50 you purchase. And you can shop at leslie.stampinup.net. Hit the shop now button and it'll take you to my online store, and you can see all of the awesome products that we offer. But for every $50 you buy, you earn a $5 coupon. Today is the last day to earn that coupon. However, tomorrow, August 1st, is the first day that you can start using your coupons. So if you have earned some coupons during the month of July, hunt those codes up and get ready to shop. Those are eligible for any purchases you make during the month in any amount during the month of August. I am planning on using mine towards my holiday pre-order. As demonstrators, we get to see the holiday products a month ahead of our customers. The catalog was released, I think, last Thursday online. I haven't received the paper version, but I think on the 4th we can start ordering from that catalog. So I will be using my bonus days coupons that I've earned during the month of July on that order. And if being a demonstrator interests you, please message me, email me, just put a comment in the comments or private message me on the Facebook. And I'd be happy to talk to you about doing it. All of my team are hobby demos. They just enjoy the discount, and that's how I started. So it's a good time to join because we can order out of the new holiday catalog before everybody else. And there's some really cute things. I was really pleased with the catalog. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started with our project. Put my little face in the corner. I'm trying it without grid paper. I'm going to see how this works. The grid paper kind of helps me keep everything in the center, but we'll see how this goes. You know how I am experimenting all the time with my technology. Okay, this little card that we're going to make is so simple, but so cute. Now, this is all my embellishment, but the actual background is what I'm going to show you. And I will show you how I came up with my embellishment, but you can make this pattern for your background using anything that you have in your stash. I am participating in a swap this month, and I need to get these out this week. And so I made mine. It was a Christmas in July swap. So here's one. I did the same situation. See how I did the background the same, and I'm going to show you how I did that. And I just used some other products to embellish the front. But that's going to be my swap that I got to get out. It was supposed to be green, red and green. So I had to hurry up and come up with some red. So I used it for my tag and my baker's twine. Now this one, I'll tell you how I did it here in a minute as we get going. So if you're crafting along with me, pull out your stuff. You're going to need an A2 size card. Now this one I did a side fold. So this is an 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at 4 1/4 and folded it on the score line. That is a side fold. This one is a top fold. So it works with either kind, as long as it's 4 1/4 by 5.5, the card front. Okay, so we are going to start with our card base, which mine is the Misty Moonlight. I pulled that color out of my designer series paper. Then you're going to need a first layer, and this first layer measures, let me look at my cheat sheet, 5 by 3 3/4. So I also pulled that color out of my paper. That is Fresh Freesia. Thought that went really well. I used the Misty Moonlight and the Fresh Freesia from the flowers. And then finally, you're going to need a piece of designer series paper. And this one measures 4 3/4 by 3.5. And pay attention to the pattern. You want the 4 3/4 to be the long ways, because if you did it the other way, your flowers would be sideways. So always pay attention to if your paper has a pattern. Like this the backing, it doesn't have a pattern, so it wouldn't matter how we cut it. But we want this to be 3.5 by 4 3/4, because we're going to cut it into those little puzzle pieces. And I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. You're going to need a paper trimmer. You could probably use scissors. And then starting at the top corner, line that up in your paper trimmer right along, I call this the gully or the alley, I don't know, it's a little groove in our paper trimmer. I love that it has that groove. I'm going to line up the top corner of my designer series paper and my bottom corner in that gully, and then take a deep breath. I'll scooch this up so you can see better. I've got my camera a little lower. Hopefully, you know, I'm always trying new stuff. It makes my hands look really big, and you can see all my wrinkles, but I think you can see what I'm doing a little bit better with the camera lower. Okay, and we're going to slice that thing at a diagonal. Now I'm just going to kind of leave it like that because I want it to kind of stay together, and I'm going to just rotate it and take this corner and that corner and make sure these are, you know, like it's a whole piece. Make sure it's sitting there, even though it is two pieces, but you want to hold it together like a puzzle. You could probably use some washi tape if that made you nervous, to hold it together. But we're lining that corner up with that corner in that alley of our paper trimmer. And then we're going to slice it, and we're going to end up with 4 pieces. And that's all. That is real simple Simon Metapaiman. Now, this one I used the front side. Let me get my Fresh Freesia out here. And everything will fit like a puzzle. And so you're going to have it's going to be like a little puzzle. You'll have some little grooves. It just adds a little bit of extra instead of just the plain old panel. You've got just a little extra attention to it. Now, on this one, when I made this one, I used the opposite side of the papers. I was going to show you. Here's the trees that I used, and then I just flipped these and used the opposite side. On this paper, however, I didn't really care for the size of this pattern is so overwhelming to the size of the little flowers that I didn't want to do that. But you can do that, or you can use 2 different papers, which I considered. But I wanted you all to see how you could do it just with one piece of designer series paper. But if you were going to make two of these, which why not, you should, cut two pieces out. I thought this would be a pretty coordinating print with the flowers if I wanted to change it up a little bit. And I would cut two of those pieces of the 4 3/4 by 3.5. I would cut one out of this print and one out of this print. I would cut the triangles like I showed you, and then I would just switch them out. And I thought that would be pretty together. But I just wanted to show you that you don't have to use a ton of stuff to make this card. And we could just use this, but like I said, I thought the size of this pattern just overwhelmed the little dainty flowers, so I just left it like this. But this paper, the size of each of the patterns complemented each other well, I thought. So it added a little interest. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is put this piece of fresh freesia on our Misty Moonlight, and this measures 5 by 3 3/4. Hi, Carol. It looked like you were at a wedding this weekend, Carol. Was that a family member? I just saw on Facebook your beautiful pictures and your beautiful dress. Everybody was all dressed up. Okay, and then these I'm just going to glue on, and I'm going to use my liquid glue for this because it gives me a little wiggle room. I can kind of move them around a little bit before they're stuck on there. I'm using multi-purpose liquid glue in my magic glue bottle that I am going to give you guys a link for that. And I start with this top one, and I just make sure it's centered with about 1/8 of an inch border at the top. And then we can just work our way around like we're doing a puzzle. This is such an easy little trick or technique to use for any occasion. I'm using this just a note. I'll show you what products I use to make my embellishment, but you could make Christmas cards, thank you cards, sympathy cards, all depending on what paper you choose, what mood you want to set. The paper does all the work for you. It's so cute. Oh, your youngest son got married. Congratulations. So that was, you got the pictures back. They were beautiful. Y'all look so lovely. Okay, so that's your basic card. So you've got a card base, then you've got this layer, and then you've got your designer series paper that we cut, and you can use whatever you have on hand to make that. You could just put a circle here with a sentiment stamped on it. You could put anything on there. You could put a bow on there and it would be done. But I embellished mine with, I was going to show you what I used. The Darling Details. I purchased this and I haven't got to use it, so I thought let's yank that out and use it. And I love the little font. Thank you, just a note, hello there, happy birthday. Count me among all the people who are here for you, and you're not here. I hate that. And it has the stamp set, which is a photopolymer, and these lovely, this is probably why I bought it mostly, is for these lovely frames. But I didn't use them in today's project. It was very hot at the wedding. It was very hot last week. Whew. Where I was at. I was in Branson, Missouri last week with my kids and grandkids, and it was so hot. I did not wear any makeup the whole week because, you know, it just melts off. And then somebody ended up taking a picture of me when we were stopping for frozen yogurt. Anyway, no pictures of me when I'm not wearing makeup. But anyway, at least they didn't take a picture of me in my swimsuit. That is definitely a no-no. Okay, so I've just got some basic white, and I'm going to yank out some inks here. Here is my sample. I'll put that right there so you can see it. I've got the Fresh Freesia. The Bubble Bath, which I always call Bubble Gum. Misty Moonlight. I did one flower in the Misty Moonlight and one flower in the Bubble Bath. And Night of Navy. I don't know, with my camera so low. See, I'm learning here. My camera needs to be a little higher so you guys can see my inks. Okay, so for our first flower, this is a two-step stamp set. So the images come with a base and then an outline. So I'm doing the base in the Misty Moonlight and then the outline in the Night of Navy to get more detail on that flower. So I like to do the base first, and I am going to stamp off once because I don't want it as dark. Oh my gosh, everything just fell off my desk. Lovely. And then the outline I'm going to do in the Night of Navy. And since it's photopolymer, we should be able to get that on there pretty good. And then I'm going to do this smaller flower in the Bubble Bath and the Fresh Freesia. But I am not going to stamp off on the Bubble Bath because it is light enough that I don't need to do that. Hope I can get this. I'm not quite over top. Pretty good. Pretty good. All right, and then I did the little leaves in Garden Green. I think I'm done with the Bubble Bath and I think we can put these away. Get them out of the way. I need the Night of Navy for a sentiment, but we will put the Misty Moonlight away. And the leaves are also two steps. So we've got this and this. I did not use the outline. I just used this one and this one. And once again, I'm going to stamp off once on that one, but on this one, I am not. I'm going to add the outline. I think maybe I wasn't aware that there was an outline when I made this one. That's par for the course, right, for me. So I am going to add the outline and see if it looks better. It's always an experiment with me, right? I think I wasn't aware of this little outline stamp. Might give it a little bit more definition. So we're going to do that. It's okay. I don't know that it's any better. It's okay. Okay, and the final thing we're going to stamp is the Just a Note. Don't you love that font? I love that font. And I have a little strip unless it fell off the table, of basic white that we're going to do that. We're going to die cut all this out. And I am doing that in Night of Navy. There we go. It's a little crooked. Let's do another one. There we go. That one's better. I usually stand up when I do those so I can get them good. Okay, so we can die cut these out, and through the magic of television, I had enough time to die cut them all out already. And I'm going to go ahead and use my leaf because I didn't think that one looked any better. It's different, but I like this one enough that I'm going to use that. Okay, so we're going to put it all together, and then I'm going to show you a trick with some baker's twine and our alcohol markers. Alrighty. So I used dimensionals all over the place on this. Let me find them. Here they are. I just pop these flowers up. And when I'm tucking things underneath, I try and keep my dimensionals kind of in the center so that it leaves me space to tuck things. See how I tucked that pink flower and the leaves under there, and then I also tucked the sentiment tag under there. These things they'll grab. You don't need to have a ton of them on there, and it'll work fine. So this one I'm just going to put one. These are Stampin' Dimensionals, and when I get off of here, off of the live, I will put all the products I've used in today's live on. I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals that just fell on the floor. I will list all the products I've used. Now, if you make this card with what you have at home, I would love to see it. Please share it in the comments below if you try this little background technique. I would love to see your card. Please share it in the comments and I might send you something for being brave. You just never know. I used to send out my cards that I make. I need to start doing that again. I don't know what happened, why I stopped doing that, but see how I'm trying to get this puppy up under there? There we go. There we go. And then I want to add my sentiment. So I'm going to have to lift that up a little just to tuck it under. And I just flag the end a little bit, which I just go in just a teens and then come up from the corners to meet that cut. And that kind of flags the end, makes a little banner like that. And so I'm going to take my little tool here and lift that up for a minute while I did not pop the sentiment up with the dimensionals. I just, uh-oh, there we go. I have to put more glue in there. I just glued it right to the card front. Isn't that cute? Hi Cordelia, how are you? Good afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. It's Monday. We had a huge storm last night. There were branches all over our yard when I got up this morning. It was loud. I heard it last night. And it was windy. A lot of thunder and lightning. Okay, so the last thing I did was I added this little bow, kind of like a bouquet. Like, oh, I'm going to wrap it up with the little bow. And I used I wanted to show you that you can use your alcohol markers and some basic white baker's twine. I'm going to take some scratch paper here. Here's where and just cut off. I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors. Cut off a length of your white twine, and you can use your alcohol markers and it'll dry very quickly. Now you can use your ink pads to color baker's twine as well. You can kind of drag your twine over the pad, or you can take a sponge dauber and color them whatever color you want, but it takes a while for them to dry, or you have to get your heat tool out. And I don't have the patience for that, so I don't do that very often. But with our alcohol markers, they dry really quickly. So I'm just using the painter end, or there's a fine point and a, what do they call it? Do they have a name for it? I call it kind of a brush tip. I think that's the word. Brush tip. So see how easy that was to make our white baker's twine, and now it is, it'll coordinate with all of our papers and inks on our card. And it dries really fast, see? Now if I would have used my ink pad, I would have had to get my heat gun out or wait for it to dry. It takes a minute. But that's kind of a cool way to use your alcohol markers, are Stampin' Blends. And I'm going to just make a bow. Thank you, Cordelia. It finally came to me. Brush tip. Oh, Cordelia's on vacation and she's YouTube binging. I love that. If it's hot where you are, that's probably a good activity. We were down near lakes, so we spent a day on the lake, and that was cool. You know, you were in the water and the wind and everything. But we played putt-putt one morning. We went early in the morning because the little kiddos like to play putt-putt. Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to die. It was so hot. I rushed through that putt-putt game faster than anything. Alrighty. I'm using some of my multi-purpose liquid glue to put this bow on. Just a little drop will do ya. It'll take a minute to dry, but once it does dry, it will hold very well. Since I'm using baker's twine, see how pretty that ribbon is? Who would have guessed that that was white to begin with? I love that little trick. Hey, Stephanie. Oh, that's okay. You missed, well, I'll show you. Where did it go? Stephanie is on the same team that I am on, and she came on late here. What happened to the card? I'm going to grab it. Here it is. Y'all, I really did clean my desk off today, but this is my swap card, Stephanie. I've got all the bases made. I just have to cut out 30 Christmas trees now and put them together. So I hope to get my swap cards in the mail tomorrow is my goal. I thought Wednesday, but I showed everyone how to do this little cutting technique with a piece of designer series paper to make a real pretty background. And so I thought, oh, I'm going to try that today. This one I used opposite sides of the paper. because I thought the print looked really nice together. This one, the print was so big on the back that it just didn't really coordinate well. So I just used the same pieces, or you could use different papers. But anyway, I will have all of the measurements over on my blog, plaidpoodle.com, all of the cutting measurements and all the layers, probably within the next 30 minutes. So give me a minute, and then that will be there. Also, what else? That was it. Today's the last day to earn bonus bucks or bonus coupons. Tomorrow is the first day to start spending those coupons if you've already earned some. I am waiting. I am waiting to pre-order from that holiday catalog. So, Stephanie, I need postage stamps as well. So that'll be fun, going to the post office and standing in line. I usually order them through the mail, but I wasn't proactive. Oh, wow, Stephanie's got $70 bonus dollars. I don't know how much I have, but I'm using them towards that pre-order. And as I mentioned before, if you're interested in ordering from that holiday catalog early, I would love to have you on my team, and you can order those products as part of your starter kit from the new holiday catalog. All right, if you're interested in that, just pop me a message or something, and I'd love to chat with you about it. Or you can go to leslie.stampinup.net, and there is a place to join. All right, that is it, guys. I'm so glad to be back. I don't have any more travels. All the kiddos, are going back to school soon, and things are slowing down, so I plan on being here every week. I will be here next Monday, and starting in September, I will start my Monday Wednesdays. I'll be back for coffee and a card on Wednesdays. So we will talk soon, and a happy stamping. If you try this technique, take a picture of it and post it in the comments below on my Facebook page. I would love to see it. If you're watching on YouTube, I don't think there's a way to post photos, but oops, sorry. But if you're watching on Facebook, or you are on Facebook, go ahead and show us what you made using the, I don't know what you would call it, quarter cut card? I don't know. Anyway, we will talk soon. Have a great afternoon. Happy stamping.